In this video, we will show how to edit correctly a demo project in Slingshot. To create a new project, go to the main page and click the yellow button. Here, you can see a blank canvas. You can start designing your project by importing a pre-existing SVG or drawing a figure. The design process can be done either before or after the panel detection, as you prefer. Here, we will show you how to do it before the panel detection. To import an SVG, click on the import icon. Before importing an SVG, check the video related to this topic to make sure that the SVG is correctly designed. Click on Importing Current Canvas. To learn more about canvas organization, please check the software overview video. Select the file you would like to import. Once you press Import, you should see your project appearing on the canvas. In the track list on the left, you should see all paths present in the canvas. Click and drag on the canvas to select all paths. Once a path is selected, it is highlighted in gray in the track list as so. You can resize your canvas and insert the thickness of the panel. Notice that all measurements in Slingshot are expressed in millimeters. Otherwise, you can zoom on your project to fit your screen by scrolling with your mouse or with the specific icons. To move the select path, move your cursor to one of the red squares until the moving cursor appears and reposition your project inside the canvas. When you select one or more paths, the Drawing Options panel will open on your right. Here, in the Shape tab, you can see the dimension of the selected figure and its position with respect to the canvas origin. The Cut tab is used to define the type and depth of the cut. Any project created or imported in a canvas will be set to Fill Cut as a default. The Fill option is unavailable when the selected tracks are open path. You can distinguish an open path by the red dots at its ends, as it happens here for the path at the center of the square. We will now set every path to outline to show more clearly the project. Let's select only the outside square by clicking on it. Once selected the path you want to change, click on Fill or Outline from the Drawing Options panel to modify the type of cut. The Fill option lets you do a pocket milling at a fixed depth. On the other hand, the Outline option will cut only the perimeter of the figure. The Outline cut has three sub-options: inside, center, or outside. Right now we will set the square path to Outline outside. Inside, we'll set the milling cut, represented by the gray path in the canvas, inside the perimeter of the figure. Center will put the cut over the perimeter, and outside will keep the cut outside of the figure edges. These options are not available when working with open paths. Once happy with the type of cut, you can select the depth of cut. Move the slider next to the cutting options or insert the depth in millimeters in the dedicated field right under. Here, we will set the square to the maximum depth possible. You can notice that the color of the cut depends on the depth. The deeper the cut, the darker the cut on the canvas becomes. Let's select all the other paths inside the square. If selecting on the canvas is difficult, you can select the path directly from the track list. Keep the Shift key pressed to select multiple tracks at the same time. You should see that the cut is set to Outline Center, since it's the only option available when working with open tracks. Let's set the depth to 5 mm. By doing so, the G in the center of the square will come out as an engraving. Scroll down in the Drawing Options and move to the Bit tab. Here, you have to choose one or more bit to use it to cut the project. Since we already have selected the G path, we will set the bit for this path first. Click on the arrow to open the bit catalog and choose the right bit. If you have a Goliath European version, please select the bit with a 6 mm diameter. If you have the USA version, please select the 1/4 inch diameter bit, which corresponds to 6.35 mm diameter. If these bits are not present in your catalog yet, please modify one of your catalog bits as shown in the related video with the correct parameters. For each bit, you will see listed in the Bit tab their specifications. The feed rate expressed in millimeters per minute, the plunge rate in millimeters per minute, and the depth of the cut per pass expressed in millimeters. For the G path, we will customize the feed rate value. Let's click on the Custom tab and then set the feed rate field to 600. If your bit plunge rate and the depth per pass parameters are equal to the one shown, leave them as they are. Otherwise, modify the fields in order to have a 300 plunge rate and 3 mm depth per pass. Now, on the canvas, select the outside square and proceed in choosing the same bit used for the G engraving as before shown. Check that the set feed rate for the bit is equal to 1600, that the plunge rate is 300 and that the depth per pass is 3 mm. If this is not the case, click on Custom and set the parameters to the same here shown for the square cut. In the track list, you can now see the specifications for each path. From left to right, you can find the symbol representing the type of cut, the diameter of the bit, and the depth of cut chosen. Check that these values are correct for each path. The last editing step is the tabs positioning for closed paths which have the depth of cut equal to the panel thickness. To activate the tab tool, click on the tab icon in the toolbar. Tabs are useful for through cut. Tabs work as links between the cut piece and the rest of the panel, allowing Goliath to move over the piece without moving the piece itself. They can be easily cut by hand at the end of the project. In this case, there is only one through cut, the outside square. To position the tabs, move the mouse close to the track and click to position the tab. A tab is represented by a black dot over the path. Let's proceed to position all the other ones. When done, right-click or press the S key to deactivate the tab tool. The project editing is now done. You can proceed to do the panel detection and cut the demo project.